Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagan Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Havatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Om Yoga Vasishtha in Vairagya Prakarana, 14th section. Rama has been brought into the royal assembly of King Dasharatha. Sage Vishwamitra has put a question, O Rama, what is your problem? And now Rama gives a detailed, opens his heart to the whole community, whole assembly. This is not ordinary assembly, all sages, Narada, Vyasa, Pulastya, all sages of that, whatever you can think of, I'm talking in the allegorical way of that time, where sages are eternal. It's all the divine. It should not make your mind too spark up. When you have satsanga, all divine forces come together. Said Vyasa is up there. Hanuman is up there. All the deities are there. That type of bhavana has to be developed. Presently, Rama focuses his attention on life. And I've taken the big volume to lead you to the beauty of this great scripture. It's written by a Kavi. Kavi is poet. And poetic writings cannot be brought exactly in literature. So even though so many translations may be presented to you, yet this basic poetry excels. Sri Rama said, O sage, human life is like a dewdrop on a leaf. Naturally, it is unstable. And this life is not friendly related to the body. It's a foreigner dwelling in the body. And it walks out of the body just like someone drunk. Just like you dump a garbage. That doesn't have a limit of expression. So the life dumps his garbage. Even in the English language, you kick the bucket. Let me read to you the English, rather the Sanskrit original. Ayuha pallava konagra lambam bukana bhanguram unmattamiva sanjatya yatya kande sharirakam. And that was the meaning of that. Those who possess a mind that has not become a dwelling place for snakes, snakes of kleshas, afflictions, ignorance, egoism, attachment, hatred, fear of death. These are big snakes, and they have somehow crawled into your mind. And if you don't find them in the conscious, it is in the unconscious. It's wrapped up all over. And chitta has lost its vigor. It has become jarjar, shithil, paralyzed, gripped by all these kleshas. Otherwise, the role of chitta is so joyous. It's a hamsa, swan. The swan that is not trapped in the egg or haunted by violent animals. Free flies. The joy of life that you experience on the basis of physical body, that joy is a little drop of the infinite joy of the life. Try to understand. The life that we live in is just like a picture coming into your cell phone. And while you watch the cell phone or you talk to these modern equipments, you are talking to the person and the person is smiling and you go through a lot of communications. But all that is based upon the energy behind it. Life is like energy. But the source of that energy, life of life, is pure consciousness, God, Brahman, Satchidananda. Without going to in that detail, let me go on with this, that chitta in human being has become an abode of snakes, krishnavrittis, thought waves that arise out of ignorance, egoism, etc. And also they intensify ignorance, egoism, attachment, hatred, fear of death. It goes both ways. Those who have not developed Atma Vivek, the discriminative knowledge that I am the eternal self, the body cannot limit me. Those who have not come to that realization, for them, and those who live with that idea, I am the body. Life presents itself as something so terrible, a source of fear and constant pain in your neck. Allegorical. Let me warn you, don't become too upset, because life is going to be presented in a most miserable way. But try to understand. With each birthday celebration, you blow out so many candles. It's a shocking situation. Of considerable celebrating life. And there is not a single day that you can live without the awareness of some problem arising out of the body, and instinctive fear of death, which is common denominator for all personalities, all jivas. Instinctive fear. The moment you go out, your eyes are already winking in a special way. Yeah. A lizard falls on your head. The reaction comes in a special way. The human personality is rigged up with that reaction to fear. And that's only something simple. That fear is a finger pointing to bigger fears that your mind has developed. Remember always, putreshana, vitteshana, lokeshana. Mind has developed 3 types of fascination. Fascination for children, coming generations. Fascination for accumulating lot of money. Fascination for becoming very popular. And all that fascinations that fill your mind with joy, they are always at stake. You celebrate winning a lottery, but suddenly doctor tells you your heart is going to fail. I will not detail more, but that's all ashanas. Bring lots of turmoil for your mind. Ye tu vijnana vijneya vishanta vitate pade bhava bhava samashvasam ayuste sham sukhayate. Those who have realized Brahman, those who have come to know that which is to be known, knowing which all is known. That's again, remember that Vedic scriptures go on pointing out, you may have known lots of things, but the question is placed by sages, do you know that, but knowing which all is known? Then the answer lies in realizing the self. It's not an intellectual knowledge. The knowledge we may understand by using the term intuitional. But even intuition that human being experiences is not really that type, but we have to use some language. Someone comes to you and smell the face. Oh, you have been eating cauliflower? And the person says, oh, you have intuition. Must be being a yogi. So intuition term is used in so many ways. Those who have realized Brahman and have attained absolute rest in Brahman, term rest implies you are always moving, marching, flowing. Life is never quiet, still. And the soul does not, in the state of ignorance, soul does not find real peace, though it is always looking for peace. And having found the peace, he suddenly realizes peace has gone into pieces. You have to understand that point. Your mind has 50 things that the mind loves. So, in order to be peaceful, you have to put all those pieces together. And they don't stay just 50. They begin to change also. He whose life is constantly shaken by love, gain, the sense of gain, I have gained that much. Hani, things I have lost. Pleasure and pain. This experience goes on through your mind day by day. And one does not develop a profound insight that just staying in that form of life, a life that is constantly shaken by gain, loss, pleasure, pain, desires, frustrations, that life, should it go on like that forever? Should we pray to God, oh God, give me long life? Turn your attention to the life that is enjoyed by enlightened sages. The enlightened sage does not view physical life as life. Physical life is a show. Coming into your cell phone is a work of your nerves. Change the nerve centers, put one finger in one nerve center, in another. I'm talking about the brain centers. And no matter what type of body you may have, your experience of yourself and the world goes on changing. So in other words, it's a great Maya. Every individual, all your experiences, a play of nervous system. And all is confined to this body, 3.5 feet or 5 feet, 6 feet. Should one just live only with that knowledge, to let this body get a lot of wealth, etc., and die with the nothing more. Of course, as you understand, one does not just do so. One kicks one bucket, enters into another. And the process continues. Should one continue that way? If you have been miserable with money, a big desire enters and you are born into a very rich family. But with all your wealth, you suddenly become fascinated with the melody of music. The third birth to become a great musician. But a mathematician ridicules your brain. I'm joking. Trying to tell you that you don't get perfection. Now, if one has attained enlightenment, his life is not identified. He sees the life in the practical realm, the practical world of reality. And that type of life goes on doing its function, promoting others to be inspired and so forth. But he is not limited to that life. And in that case, as long as you live, there will be always situations of pleasure, pain, gain, loss, adversity, prosperity. There will be always. But while others, those who are not enlightened, facing these situations, they intensify their karmas and build up more complex reactions. In the case of a sage, all these are like breeze blowing over the branches of a mighty tree. All these adverse situations. And the tree shakes. But the shaking is a form of enjoyment for the tree. At the root level, the tree dances. Let's figure that out. And that's again the lesson in life. Try to develop a different attitude. Adversity, prosperity, being shaken this way, that way, handled by God You are being nourished at your very root. So therefore, not to stress your mind, why am I being chosen to have all this? Rather, how blessed am I? God has chosen to shake me every now and then. The good farmer does that. A plant that he cares for, he shakes it. Being shaken at the very root, that's caused by ignorance, dullness. And that's the disease of the world process. Being shaken at the branches, that's joyous expression. And that change shows spiritual advancement. Your progress depends upon how do you interpret your situations and circumstances. Don't interpret it in a negative way and be shaken. Neither should we interpret it in a more exaggeratedly positive way. But both are prasad of God, this way, that way. The mother shakes the baby this way or that way. The baby is happy. All this is said very easily, but these are lessons that you work upon day by day. And there can be many failures. It doesn't matter. The child walks after many falls. So it doesn't really matter. And then builds up and profound vishwas, trust, that you are meant to attain God realization. So that positivity never goes away from your mind. That should be, again, the ideal. Even this will pass away. Each time the moon emerges out of a dark cloud, it shines brighter and more luminous than the moon. Considering the body as yourself, tremendous error. Life in your body, life based on your body, in the vastness of the universe, life based on your body is just like a lightning flash. A flash comes, does its deeds and vanishes. Life is fickle like the lightning flash. Yujyate veshtanam vayu akashasya cha khandanam garsanam cha taranganam astha na yushi yujyate. Air can be bagged. You can circumscribe air, which is not possible. But it's giving allegorical way because it's a poetic writing. The great sky can be broken to pieces. The surging waves can be collected and put into a nice mala, garland. All that is possible, that can be possible. But trusting life, impossible. Life is like the cloud in the wintry sky. We're referring to Indian geography. The cloud comes and vanishes fast. Our life is like a lamp without oil. Little oil, any time it just goes away. Our life is like a little wave forming in the ocean. Rama says, I may trust that I can catch a wave. I can grasp the reflected moon in a little water, or capture a lightning and pluck the lotus in the sky. Human imagination creates lotuses in the sky, but can't catch them. It's impossible. The Rama says, suppose all this is possible. I can believe you can make me trust all that. But I cannot trust life. In this world, described as sansar sambhraman, travel of the world process. Being in the world is like you are traveling. You are taking a strange journey. And it's not far-fetched. The Earth is a spacecraft. Even though you have not bought ticket. Joking. You have bought ticket by your karmas. Led by your karmas, you are taken by the spacecraft. And every day you are enjoying sunrise, sunset, floating through vastness of space. So sansar sambhraman, you are journeying through the world process. Human life is like a little foam in the ocean. In this creation, physical body, think of body in relation to this vast creation. You don't even have strength in your body as much as a banyan tree has, or whatever. There are so many things. Your walls and your chairs have more strength than your bones. I'm not saying that it should have. It's all allegorical. Human body is absolutely perishable. Anityam. Rama says, I consider attainment of that wherein all desires are fulfilled, attaining which there is no more sorrow, and there is no more coming into the world process. If that type of revelation, that type of experience, enlightenment comes in the life, I consider, yes, that's the life. Otherwise, trees also live. There are trees who live for centuries. Animals, birds, they live. Frogs, lizards, yes, they live. But Rama expresses his view that one who has brought about removal of vasanas, subtle desires, and thereby complete effacement, complete blowing away of the mind, such a one really lives. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Know that you are living in a world of mrityu, death, mortality. So don't become so obsessed by mortality. Allow that prayer to enter from death to immortality, not from death to death. Those who have developed that type of prayer, they are successful in their life. Their life is commendable. Those who live to bring about cessation of birth and death, those who live to say goodbye to all coming incarnations forever. No more to the world process. Thanks that you welcomed me, but now no more. If you don't do that, the jivas that don't follow that path of immortality, they are like donkeys. They live to carry weight, load of sorrows, not load of flowers. Considering oneself as physical body, the real self in you is Satchidananda. But allowing a mind to consider your whole existence, just the body, if you have done that, scriptural teachings become a big burden. In other words, as you enter into satsanga and you are told about the perishability of the body while you have colored up yourself for being recognized as body. It's a shocking situation. If you are worldly minded, say no more satsanga. So that's an illustration to it. Satsanga becomes a burden. Scriptural study becomes a burden. It's always a bangs on your mind. You are not the body, you are not the mind, not the senses. Nothing exists. Nothing belongs to me. Those who are attached to worldly enjoyments, knowledge of truth, tattva jnana, is a big burden. Those who have not discovered inner peace, mind itself is a big load. So therefore you always want to have to get out of this manoranjan. Find something that takes you out of your mind and out of its worries. But manoranjan has two aspects. If you are led by ignorance, then you are just avoiding every good thing that you can think of. On the other hand, if you turn Godwards, then your mind goes on enjoying, like a bee goes on enjoying nectar, and becomes transformed into a swan. Manoranjan that leads to manobhanjan. Mind's joy that ultimately turns up into effacement of the mind, that blows the mind away. Then you are living a life of Bihar, what Buddha called it Bihar. The world becomes a fascinating plane of enjoyment. All satsangas of Buddha were Buddha Vihar. For those who are durbuddhis, durbuddhi is bad intellect. For durbuddhis, good looks is a burden. Because we are not satisfied with how good should you look. And the slightest unexpected development, a hair turning grey, for example, causes a lot of mental stress. For durbuddhi, even a beautiful form becomes a source of pain. Life becomes a great source of pain. You never know how to live. A lot of your time goes into despair, atank. The scorpion of pain stings you. That's called atank. Tank marta. Your mind, intellect, ego, all become a source of pain. And your actions go on creating negative karma. Life that is never free of exertion, meaningless exertion, and never free from desires, cravings. A life that has become an abode of miseries and a very luxurious nest for diseases, birds of diseases. Such a life is a source of constant stress, constant exertion. As if you are moving, you are constantly pressure. You don't have time even to sit down in a chair. No rest. Life doesn't allow you to rest. Just as a rat goes on digging into a muddy ball. See, in the field sometimes there is like a little mud ball, little hill like of mud. And the rat goes on digging into it, cutting into it to find a hole. Similarly, time, using the mouth of the clocks, goes ticking. I'm adding something. And that rat never sleeps. Not for a moment it can make a mistake. Body is the abode of the disease that abides in the body like a snake. And its poison goes on affecting your body. In simple terms, body is subject to disease. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. Birth itself has given your body a lot of torture. Death, you don't have to think about it. But whether you think of it or not, it has to come. Jara, aging process. But all these are to happen or happened. But disease is happening. No matter where you are, a slight disturbance in your food, a slight catching some germs. I'm just giving one. The body is an abode of diseases. If you study body, you will realize you are studying millions of cells that move. Friendly cells, unfriendly cells. Big fight goes on, Kurukshetra goes on. And that disease that sits in your body constantly goes on sipping your life period. How long you live, that length of your life is diminished as disease goes on working upon your body. Just as termites enter into a big tree, giant tree, and works upon the tree in such a way, sipping up all its juice and all its nutrients, it makes the whole tree just a log of wood full of holes. In the same way, Dusht rogue, wicked rogues. The English word rogue comes from the same source. They go on sipping your blood, your pranas, your marrow, your muscles. Wicked rogues. And while all this is happening, Rama's picture, that can be, no one can excel him in his pathetic description. Just as a cat, sly and foxy cat, waits at the hole for the rat to come out, knows there's no other way to go, for the rat has to come. The cat remains firm, constantly perking up its ears, bringing the tongue out, showing the teeth. Just like that cat who is constantly waiting to grab it. In the same way, death is waiting to grab your life. Your life is nothing but a rat. Remember that this is a description for those who have not attained enlightenment and not interested in enlightenment. But those who are interested in enlightenment, life is a profound opportunity. Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurush Samshaya. 3 great privileges. The privilege of having human personality, human nature, human psychology. Manushyatvam, that's a great privilege to be born as a human being, because human being has that capacity, that potentiality. That's called Manushyatvam. Mumukshutvam. But as you develop a healthy lifestyle and healthy understanding, then like Rama, you begin to understand life has a purpose, not just living for the rat. Living to fly like a swan. And thirdly, Mahapurush Samsraya. You have the possibility of being guided by enlightened sages. The world is never void of those who have inspired humanity. Led by your aspiration, you become like a magnet, rather like a piece of iron drawn to the magnet. But if you are not qualified, you are a piece of iron with a covering of a veil, with a mouth trap. Remove the trap, be drawn to the. So all this allegorical. And with this I am going to conclude. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.